Hello, my lovely ladies. I've seen all of your beautiful updates, and I'm so proud of each of you. We are conquering the Hot Girl Walk Challenge, 10,000 steps a day until August 31st, and it's not too late to join. The group chat link is in the description, and let's keep moving towards our most toned, irresistible selves.
And before you start making plans for brunch, just remember, your big ass knows what everything tastes like already. Find out what it feels like to have your dream body. Get up.
Whoever said lose that weight before you turn 30, y'all really meant that shit. And now I see. I see why you said it, because I am fighting my ass off to get this 20 pounds off, and it's fighting me back. Like, literally beating my ass.
Hey, just a silly little thought for especially men going into gynecology. Maybe when you meet a new patient, the first thing you don't say to them is, when they're considering birth control options, is the problem with birth control is that it can make you gain weight, and I don't think you need that. Maybe that's not the first thing you say to a new patient. And second thing, maybe you don't say to a new patient who you don't know is any of their medical history, and you don't really care to listen when I'm trying to tell you about their medical history. Maybe after the appointment, when they're already so uncomfortable, and after they've already done a pap smear, which is already so uncomfortable, maybe you don't close the door and the first question you ask at the end of the appointment is, have you ever considered Ozempic? Maybe don't fucking ask that. Anyways, I was already really anxious today. That just made it worse. I love the American medical system. I adore fat phobia in the medical field. Not that it's anybody's business on the internet. So I don't know, it's stupid to cry and share this. But this is what happens. This is what happens when I go to the doctor. My weight is always their main concern, not what I'm actually there for. My blood work always comes back fine. I work out 3 to 5 days a week. I am an active person. I am by all accounts healthy. I just carry more weight on my body, and they don't care. They don't care.
I used to weigh 320 pounds, and people ask me what is the thing that I notice the most or that I enjoy the most now, and it's literally this. Just being able to put my foot up and rest.
So I lost 120 pounds, right? And one of the best things that came out of losing that weight, it's not the looks. I have to say, I feel better, my clothes, all that stuff. But you know what's awesome? Going out to eat, to stadiums, to on the airplane, whatever, and just being comfortable in the seat. In fact, I just feel like a little skinny queen in that seat. I'm just like, oh, so tiny. That is the best part. Not being uncomfortable sitting in a seat. I feel this every day. Every day I sit down, I'm just feel so much more comfortable to sit in general. I can sit crisscross applesauce. I mean, I could before, but not great. But just the ease of getting up and off the ground, going on an airplane, sitting in a small airplane seat, going to a restaurant with uncomfortable chairs. But
so if you really want to know who your friends are, get skinny. Matter of fact, level up, get richer, make some more money. And that's how you're going to know who your friends are. And it's not even really a thing of you look better than, maybe it's a thing of you do look good. It's more of a thing of you've got the drive, the discipline, the ambition, the tools to set yourself up for success. And while that's admirable, it's really triggering for a lot of people. So I think from now on, you need to keep your plans to yourself, because evil eye can happen in the easiest of ways. It doesn't even have to be someone dogging you out. It literally could just be you telling your friend your plans and how you're so excited, and them not really seeing it for you, or they can't compute how you're gonna make it happen. And that's doubt. It's not necessarily the most evil eye, but it's still doubt. So just shut the hell up from now on.
Can we just talk about weight blindness? Because what in the heck? That is the weirdest thing ever. It blows my mind that I am not the only person who struggles with this. When I was 300 pounds, I did not believe that I looked as big as I was. I thought I was so much smaller than I actually was. And I would look at pictures and be like, no, that's not what I look like. That's just a bad picture. Or my clothes would be getting too tight. I'm like, well, they're probably shrinking. I made 1 million excuses because I didn't want to believe what I was seeing. And it happened all through my weight loss journey. I thought I was so much smaller than I was the whole entire time. So say even when I like got down to 200 pounds, I thought I was the tiniest thing ever. And I look back at pictures and I'm like, oh my God, why did I walk out of the house in some of these outfits I was wearing? Because I just truly thought that I was so much smaller than I really was, but I was still a big person. I was not small. Why is this such a thing for so many of us that we just do not see when we look in the mirror, regardless of our size? We do not see the true reflection of ourselves. We see something completely different, and it just makes me question everything. And still, when I get dressed sometimes, I'm like, oh, is that what I look like? I don't actually know. So then I have to take a video or a picture, or I make somebody else take a picture so I can see like, okay, what do I look like today? Because clearly I have no clue.
One thing I find so funny is when you are overweight, people look at you some type of way. You don't really get that much attention. And that's fine because, you know, when you don't really take care of yourself, it shows. And your family might be like, you letting yourself go, you need to lose some weight, you need to go on a diet. That's if you have like one of them outspoken families. So then you start taking care of yourself, you start being healthy, you start losing weight. And here they come talking about don't get too skinny. Do you even eat food? Like, bitch, I'm literally trying to get healthy. I'm literally trying to take care of myself. You reach your goal weight and they talking about oh, you need to gain some weight. Oh, you got too skinny. Oh, then you got drug allegations. Needless to say, do not care what people think. People always gonna have some negative shit to say. They always gonna point out the negative. And these the same people that's gonna be asking for your tips, asking what you did, asking how you lost the weight, because they really be inspired for real, for real. So keep going on your journey.
You want to change and grow, but you don't know where to start. I got you. Welcome to my journey of becoming unstoppable. Let's grow and glow together. First off, we're going to start with you. You're going to start with you. You're going to keep your word to yourself. You're going to treat yourself as if you would treat your best friend or your partner or your long lost buddy. I don't know, but you're going to treat yourself as if you would treat somebody that you love. You're going to treat yourself with respect. The same way you would demand respect from somebody else, you give that to yourself. You invest in yourself, invest in your health, your knowledge, your mental space, your spirituality, your body. Invest in you.
There's a lot of things that people say after you lose weight, but the absolute worst is when someone says,
I like the way that you looked before.
how about I light myself on fire in front of your fucking face? You're meaning to tell me that this fucking guy right here, this behemoth, looks better than this right here. Looks better than this right here. Yo, I was fucking pregnant. I was dying. You weren't even helping me. I was literally killing myself in front of you, and you weren't helping for shit. But now you have something to say after I lose the fucking weight. Fuck you! If there's one thing that I could tell you to not say to somebody after they lose weight, it is that right there. It's so much better to just shut the fuck up and say something nice.
When you lose weight, you become more visible to the world. Like, people will actually see you. And I'm not saying this as like, oh, well, when you're overweight, you're not seen. Like, people don't see you as a person. They do see you as a person, but when you lose weight and you catch everyone's attention and you start wearing more makeup, you start changing up your hair, people will actually start to look at you. If they notice that you have a change to yourself, they're gonna start to look you up and down and think to themselves, what did this person do differently? And then they're gonna start analyzing your features. And then they're gonna just start looking at you and just analyzing you, just thinking about what you look like. Just honestly, just perception. Like, people just perceive you more. And if you want to level up, like, you have to be ready for that, because so many people think that, oh, well, I'm just losing the weight for myself, or I'm putting on the makeup for myself. Well, yes, you may be doing that for yourself. Other people are still perceiving that, and they're still seeing what you're doing to yourself, and then they're creating these narratives in their mind about, oh, well, why do they do that? Why do they put on makeup? Why do they change their hair? Why do they lose weight? They're gonna start just thinking all these things about you, and you have to be ready to be seen.
Something that will never stop being funny to me is when people ask you in real life, oh, what are you doing to lose the weight? And you tell them that you're just counting your calories. Immediately their face falls, and immediately they're like, and they're not interested anymore, because it's like an actual solution. They want to hear a magic secret. They want to either hear it to be a magic easy secret that, like, oh, actually, I eat a banana pepper before bed every night, and just like that, the weight falls off. Or they want you to tell them something that's too hard to reasonably implement into their life, so that they can say, oh, well, I can't do that. But if you say, oh, I just track my calories, then they're like, okay. And it happens so often.
I'm so tired of being freaking fat and overweight. Like, I'm tired of these diets that aren't working. Like, why can't I just lose weight by breathing?
The nurse took my weight and then walked me into a patient room and said, "Right, sorry about your weight." Like, I know, you don't have to tell me. And then she's like, we've just been really busy today. I know you got like hung up on like your insurance, whatever. Just talking about how long it took for me to actually go in, not my actual physical weight.
If you are on a weight loss journey, be prepared for the switch up. So I need you to mentally put into your mind that people that once was there for you, people that once supported you, the people that was the most loudest at one point in time, is going to go silent. It's going to be the people that you least expected from. But I'm making this video so you can prepare yourself. Now, I think the psychology behind it is, especially if you're somebody like me who has started and stopped the fitness journey multiple times, people are counting you out, and they want you to think that they are truly supporting you, but they probably like, she's not gonna do it, she's not gonna get it done this time. And when you finally get it, especially if they're trying to lose the weight too, they are going to feel some type of way. They are going to feel some type of way, and they are too jealous to give you your props and congratulate you and still be supportive. Instead of trying to learn from you, or, you know, trying to understand what they should be doing or what you've done differently, they simply become haters, or they become spectators preying on your downfall. And I feel like during your like when you really lose weight, you just truly see people for who they are. And a lot of times people like to say, oh, she lost weight, so she's starting to feel herself now, or she became a bitch after she lost weight. No, you see how people change up. You see how people, you know, approach you differently. You see how much nicer people are, and you can just see through the bullshit. You see it from both sides. You see how the world views you and treats you when you're in a bigger body versus when you're fit. It's crazy. It's so crazy how superficial people are. And I think that once you lose the weight, you kind of take your rose colored glasses off, and you see people for who they are, and you're not, you know, so accommodating and open, because you know that people are full of shit. They truly are full of shit. So I just want to give that disclaimer, because it's been hard for me to process this shift after I lost the weight. And you know, losing certain people and losing connection with certain people has definitely been hurtful for me. But at the same time, you know, when God is taking you to another level, everybody can go. And I'd rather know who really don't like me and who isn't really supportive of me than to take people with me and the whole time I'm elevating them and they don't like me the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a trade-off. It definitely will change your your mindset and your brain chemistry on how you view people, and it's gonna be a hurtful process. But I just wanted to get on here and make this video just so I can tell you to mentally prepare, especially if you locked in and you know you're gonna hit your goal this time. Mentally prepare. It is scary when you see the switch up, when you see people for who they really are, when you start to hear the backhanded comments. Oh girl, you losing weight, but don't lose too much. Oh, you look better when you were bigger. Your head looks a little too big, or your neck is too skinny. Oh, look at your collarbone. You look hungry. I think you should add some more food to your regimen. But when I was big, you wasn't saying, hey girl, I think we should work out together. I think that we should, try this diet together. You just thought that you had a one-up on me, and you thought everything was good. Now in your mind, you feel like I look better than you, or you view me as competition. Now it's the issue. I just want you guys to prepare for the blessings that are gonna come, but also prepare for the haters and the people who was once supportive of you and your journey to go silent and be no longer supportive.
I was 394 pounds and now I'm 155, and I think the best part about losing the weight for me has been the fact that I am now able to participate in life. When I was 400 pounds, I was constantly anxious and worried about how any sort of activity or any part of my life really could accommodate my size. If a friend invited me to a show, my first thought was never like, oh, that'll be fun. It was, is there parking nearby? Is the venue uphill or downhill? Am I going to have to go upstairs? If somebody invited me to a baseball game, I would check the dimensions of the seat to make sure that that was something that I could participate in. And 9 out of 10 times, I wouldn't even go anyways, because I'd be, every thought I had was like, oh my God, am I going to sweat too much? Is the seat going to be uncomfortable? All of these small things that I did, first off, skyrocketed my cortisol all the time, because I was constantly like just in an anxious, like worried panic mode at all times. And also just like kept me from living my life, and now I'm 38 years old and I'm just now like doing things that most people were doing in their 20s, and most people were having fun and participating in their life, and I was just afraid. And I'm not saying that if you're 400 pounds you should not live your life, and not everyone obviously has that experience, but for me, the best part of losing the weight has been being able to participate in life without endless anxiety and endless worry. And if you're on a health journey, if you're trying to lose a bunch of weight, like, just know that on the other side of that is a really beautiful, special life that I wouldn't trade for anything.
After losing weight, not only does your body change, people change. Be ready to be treated differently after you lose weight, and that's for the good and the bad. But good thing you didn't do it for people, you did it for yourself and your health. My job, I feel like people at my job are much more pleasant, but in the same token, I'm much happier. I'm not gonna lie, I'm much happier, I'm nicer, and I'm just more easygoing. So I feel like that's why people are just more pleasant to me, because I'm more pleasant to them. So yeah, I have had people I was close with who really just don't talk to or communicate with me like that, and it's just ironic that it started once I started losing weight. I'm not assuming anything. I'm just putting 2 and 2 together, and it's kind of equaling 4. The men are a whole different conversation. I attract a lot more men, and it's so overwhelming because it's like, who to pick? So many options. The caliber of men I attract is much different now. I used to attract men in SRTs. Now I attract men in AMGs. It is just what comes with the territory. It can be overwhelming because a lot of men express their interest, and all of a sudden I just became so pretty. But I've always been pretty, so yeah. But dating has not gotten better for me. Even though I attract more men, my dating life is still the same. Okay, clock it. Maybe I'm the problem, I don't know. But yeah, overall, people will treat you different. Losing weight, becoming a whole different person. Not even a different person, but a better person. You gonna see who rock with you, and you gonna see who don't. It will reveal people's true colors. Thank you.
As someone who was skinny most of her life and is now plus size, I will say that it is sad, but it's true that people treat you differently when you are skinny. They treat you better when you're skinny. And I don't know why society is like that. And I feel like that is the main thing that's like pressuring me to want to lose weight again. I love myself and I do find myself attractive, but it sucks that when you're skinnier, people are just nicer to you.
Until you have that very fortunate but painful moment that every fat person goes through, where you look at your reflection or you look at a picture or a video or whatever the hell, and you say, damn, I am fat as hell, or any type of version of what I just said, you're gonna keep gaining weight. I guess the term is weight blindness now. I never knew what to really call it, but we gonna go with that. When you truly see yourself for what you are and not for what you think you are, because those are two different things, you gonna keep eating, you gonna keep getting whack sleep, you gonna keep drinking, you gonna keep doing all kind of bullshit to pack pounds on your body. And it's gonna come that one fucking day you gonna look at a picture even though you've looked at millions of pictures of yourself. You gonna look at a video even though you've looked at thousands of videos of yourself. You gonna look in the mirror even though you have seen your reflection 3.7.9 billion times. But that one fucking time, you gonna look and be like, who the fuck is that? And I'm here to tell you, that person is you. I do not know why this happens. I do not know why this is the way it is. But overweight people consistently eat, drink, do all kind of metabolic shit wrong, and you know you need to lose weight, right? You know, like, okay, I need to go to the gym. We all have that thought, like, okay, yeah, I need to go work out, I need to get right, I need to do this, that, and the third. But we don't really see it until you see it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, it's just like this moment in life where you just have like you see it and then nothing else matters but you and this image of yourself that you've seen a million times. But this one fucking time is different than any other fucking time. Shit is crazy. Now you got to deal with a multitude of things. Now you have to get serious with your fitness. Now you have to get serious with your weight loss. You also have to deal with the fact that you allowed yourself to get to this point. Because just a week ago, you could go out there and eat with the best of them, drink with the worst of them. You can go out, have fun, do all this shit. Now this new week comes about after you've had that moment. You feel so much weirder doing all of that shit. You don't want to drink no more liquor. You don't want to eat that much food no more. You don't want to do any of that shit. But now you battling the person who you've always been, which is the person that got you to this point. Congratulations, you now are about to go on the fucking roller coaster that is a weight loss journey. Or a lifestyle change, which is what some people want to call it. Either way, you know you need to get right. Again, I don't know why this happens to all of us, but shit bad, bruh. Because when I looked at myself in that picture, I was like, boy, who in the fuck? What the fuck? What is wrong? Who is this motherfucker? It's me. I'm the one that did that shit. I can't blame nobody else but me. So please believe, take it from me, shit gonna get bad. If you've never experienced this, you probably gonna watch this video and this is gonna be what it is to spearhead you into that moment. I'm sorry, but at the same time, I'm not, because being fat fucking sucks. Nobody who is fat enjoys being fat, and nobody who is not fat wants to get fat. Please believe that shit. Do not convince yourself of anything but that. Huh?
I just saw a video of a doctor saying that if you can eat unhealthy foods like Chipotle, Taco Bell, crumble cookie, and your body has no reaction whatsoever after eating these foods, like it doesn't feel tired, it doesn't feel sluggish, you don't break out at all, then you're probably in a chronic state of inflammation. Because if you were eating healthy foods, like anyone who eats healthy understands this, like you feel so trash when you eat out or when you eat fast food that has like seed oils in it, because your body isn't, it has like a really good healthy baseline level and you probably have low inflammation. So then when you do add these seed oils that are inflammatory and increase the inflammation in your body, then it causes you to feel trash. So if you're somebody who's eating that Chipotle, Taco Bell and crumble, find healthier alternatives. Like go to Whole Foods, there's so many snacks there that literally don't have seed oils, or go find fast food places that don't use seed oils. It's very rare, I think, in America. But you can find places that actually cook with avocado oil, ghee, tallow, even coconut oil. I highly doubt like people are cooking the coconut oil, but they're less inflammatory on the body. So look for places on Seed Oil Scout is an app you can use to look for places without seed oils. And yeah, cook your food mostly at home, meal prep. Like, you don't need to go out and eat all the seed oils all the time. It's not gonna like end your life, but it's a lot better than what it currently is doing to your body. But yeah, if you don't want to end up in a hospital bed, then stop eating food at these places.
As somebody who was once over 300 pounds, I don't feel bad for you if you're fat. Now that I've lost over 110 pounds, I realize how easy it really is to lose weight. And before you come at me, I don't mean that losing weight is easy. I mean that the steps to losing weight is easy when you break it down. But to somebody who's not going to be honest with themselves about why they got to the weight they are, it's probably not going to be easy. You're the reason you're fat. Fix it or don't.
When they say losing weight is a social experiment, bro, like, it really is, man. Like, it's crazy. So in case y'all didn't know, man, about 2 years ago, I was about 263 pounds. So currently I walk around at about 201, 202-ish. So yeah, do the math. But like the main thing I noticed is that like before, like I had got to a spurt, like I was drinking a lot and I was just kind of depressed, you know, at that stage, and just that stage of life where you only realize you got one life. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, man, I had got the biggest I ever got, which was 260 pounds or 265 pounds, somewhere around that spectrum. And I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I was just like, yeah, nah, this ain't it. But about 20 pounds down, I started to see so many changes. Like, I started to see people like look at me different and, you know, like talk to me different because they see I respect my body now. Like, I noticed a lot of people before would just kind of try to talk to you any kind of way. You got to check them a lot just because you got to know this ain't that type of party. But still, they think they can get over on you just because they think you don't really care about yourself much. And it's so crazy, man, because once I hit about like 210, 215, 210, everybody was treating me different, men and women. Men respect you more, and women... Let's just say it's a little bit different than before. But nah, man, it's definitely like a huge social experiment. You'll see how much society really does hate fat people. And it's unfortunate, guys. I know a lot of people just be living their life, you know what I'm saying? And doing this shit is hard, and having to go work out and count your calories just takes it to a whole nother level. But in a way, I do see it, you know, getting the better of it in the end, you know, because I do feel a lot happier than I used to, man, when I had all that weight on me. My mind's less clouded. I feel less tired. I'm more energized. It does have its perks, you know what I mean? But everything ain't for everybody, you know what I'm saying?
5 things that you need to avoid if you're trying to lose fat from someone who's lost almost 40 pounds. Listen, number 1, sleeping under 7 hours, okay? You don't get enough sleep and you wonder why you're always hungry. You can't out-diet shitty sleep. Lack of sleep really messes with your hunger hormones and it makes fat loss 10 times harder, at least 7 to 8 hours. Number 2, your frappuccinos, okay? You are drinking 500 calories a day and you don't even realize it because you think it's a drink. Green juices, mocha choco frappuccinos, whatever they're called, those liquid calories are not filling you up. The calories absolutely count. Have some water. Nourish your body with foods that actually have nutrients in them. 3, you need to avoid eating too little throughout the day, only to binge at nighttime. You had a tiny breakfast, a very sad lunch, and now it's 9 p.m. and your body's like, what the f***? You literally didn't feed me, so now I'm gonna eat the whole fridge. It is not lack of willpower, it's just very poor planning. Number 4, you need to avoid only counting your workout as your type of movement. There is something called NEAT, which is movement outside of the gym. You cannot go to the gym for an hour, get your workout in, and then be sitting all day. Not moving enough. 5, you're someone that obsesses over the scale, but you completely ignore your habits. You freak out over a 1 pound increase, but you ignore that you ate really well, you lifted super consistently, you've been great all week. Your mindset mindset needs the fix because your weight will fluctuate every hour. That is just something that you have to accept if you're going to weigh yourself. At the end of the day, the best thing that you can do is never give up. You keep it pushing even on the hard days. Girl, if someone like me can do it, so can you.